Ultra, Ultra, Ultra. Using the cyber beast, he will save the world. Ripping off Battle Network, he's Ultraman X. Okay, I'm just kidding. Like, I know I'm using the theme song to Kamen Rider X, but can you blame me? Like, you got Kamen Rider X on Sunday, Ultraman X on Saturday. It's like, you may as well have, the only way this would be crazier is if we also had Kamen Rider Xade, especially in the arc when he uses Mighty Brothers Double X.
Yep. So much X.
X. It's
X.
It's like what if like a character from Squid Game has to play a game where like they have to answer tokusatsu trivia. It's like, what's the name of the Ultraman that uses the cyber kaiju in order to fight normal kaiju? And then they see like in the background one of the henchmen in the pink jumpsuits going like, oh, Ultraman X, ding ding ding. Oh, it's Ultraman Orb. Ding ding ding.
Yep. Orb uses fusions of past Ultramen, whereas X uses the cyber kaiju.
Trying to figure out like I get he's got the cards. It's like boo, and then boo, but then it's like, is there like a system that determines which combination of two ultras you're supposed to use? Like for example, Rube, like there is no real system. You just can't have both brothers use the same element at the same time. But it's like, but the thing is, it's an element, not a specific ultra. There's a specific ultra associated with that element, but you're using powers of the element specifically. And then obviously in Ginga, it's like, oh, you use Ultraman Spark Dolls, and X you use Kaiju Spark Dolls, but like, and like even in combinations of two, you got like in Kamen Rider, it's like when you have the full bottles, it says at the top of the bottle like RB, so Rabbit Tank, like it makes sense. Like it has to be a specific pairing. In Gotchard, it's like the two cards are two different levels and they have to add up to 10. Unless you're Valvared for some reason. Not a fan of that season.
I know you're not.
So, what is Orb's system for pairing ultras?
That's kind of a good question. And because the way I see it is that it doesn't really say. And with the toys, you can kind of mix and match to do different combinations. Like I know you can use the same Ultra with a different Ultra to make a new form that wasn't shown in the show. But as far as the show goes, his default form, Specium Zeparian, is a fusion of the original Ultraman and Tiga. So, you got your first Showa and your first Heisei. Mm-hmm. And then you've got Burn Might, which is a fusion of Taro and Mabius. And they both use fire-based attacks.
Yeah.
And then you have Jack and Zero, which they're both supposed to be slipped, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of goes something along the lines of that.
Yeah, because I know that the Orb cards basically, like they look very similar to Gambaride and Daiso cards. I mean, I get it if it ain't broke, but it's kind of weird that like you have an Ultraman named Orb, but he uses a ring that scans cards. Like at least, like I would say, like I was expecting something more on the lines of Kamen Rider Ghost, where you have actual eyeballs representing the characters.
Yeah,
which are very orb-like.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why he's called Orb either when he uses a ring. In fact, his color timer is ring shaped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he has again a giant ring. Woo. Not even like a ring. I mean a ring. Woo.
Yeah, that he scans his cards into.
Yeah. And you know, like we thought that like, the new armored hero Star Blazer, whatever his name is, Star Ray, had a ridiculous gimmick where he puts a card inside a raised buckle and scans the card, puts it inside, puts it inside, throttles one thing, does another thing, puts two more objects in there, and so. No, it's like, no, apparently it's like, oh, we're gonna have a handheld object that doesn't connect to anything, and then we're just gonna perpendicular scan things.
Yes.
By the way, fun fact, the Wizard driver from Kamen Rider Wizard is compatible with lock seeds.
Really?
Yeah, like if you put a lock seed and tap it against the Wizard belt, it will work.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Two of my former friends and I discovered that accidentally back in 2015.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I had a lock seed and one of my friends had a Wizard driver. So like as a joke, we're like, actually it wasn't even a joke. Like it's like I kind of like swung my Wizard ring, like not my Wizard ring, my lock seed like this. Kind of like the episode Drake and Josh when Eric accidentally used the silent fist. Yeah, so like I'm using like the lock seed, woo, and then accidentally like tapped against the Wizard driver of my friend standing right next to me. It's like, please. I'm like, excuse me? Please.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then speaking of Armor Hero, oh, sorry, you weren't done.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, have you seen those figure arts like figures for Armor Hero? They did that for the.
Yeah, they're already making like the premium alternate hands for those.
Yeah, I want to get myself of the Armor Hero Dragon Man figure so badly.
Mm-hmm. You know what's really weird?
I have Rhino Man though.
You know what's really weird is how like the three armored heroes from Star Ray look awfully similar to Kamen Rider Geo.
Well, it's China. They'll take ideas and then mix into their own. Like I can watch any of the Armor Hero series and I can tell like which one was inspired by Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like there was that one dude, that one Jackal dude who's probably inspired by Kamen Rider Zangetsu. Just because of that gold and green aesthetic. Not a lot of white.
But and Dragon Man looks like a fusion of Ryuki and Kabuto.
Because I know that in the new season, like Star Ray in particular kind of has like has like the motif of like freaking G.O. because like he's got that whole black and magenta thing going. But then Ray Furno, like he has like a motif that that's very similar to Gates because he's like all red, same shade of red as Gates, and his visor is yellow, same shade as Gates. And then you have Armor Hero Ray Vortex, who, let's be honest, is Woz because of the white and green aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can't unsee that. It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be honest. The Armored Hero designs look better than the Geo designs, but the color scheme is just identical, 3 for 3.
Yeah.
3 for 3. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, like another Chinese toku, battle strike team. It's their Sentai.
Yeah.
Yeah, Giant Saber, Space Deleter, and Rescue Engine. Yeah, these Space Deleter suits, you can tell they were inspired by Bokenger a bit.
Yeah, especially the deleter. Yeah, that was definitely Bokenger inspired. But I'm gonna be honest though, I feel like the best armored hero at least thematically, is probably the original, like the very first armored hero, because I like the idea that the 5 main characters are based on the 5 Chinese elements of fire, water, metal, wood, and earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would contest the animal choices for some of them, like, oh, let's make the water one a rhino. Why? And the rhino one looks a little too similar to Kamen Rider Guy, but that's aside the point. But why is the wood one a dog? Not even a wolf, a dog, like a mastiff. Like,
yeah, really? He is a mastiff.
Like just a mastiff. Can't even like get a husky or shepherd.
Well, the wood armor was Eagle Man, the blue one.
Yeah. No, the steel armor was Eagle.
No, Eagle was the wood armor.
Really? But
yes.
He's got the metal rings on his shoulders.
I assure you that he is in fact the wood armor. That's you can crazy. Even look it up on the wiki if you want.
I'm not questioning you. I'm questioning them, assuming you're correct. I'm not saying you're not correct. I'm just saying, like, that just doesn't make much sense. Because you got the metal rings on your shoulders. It's like, why?
I know, but that's just how I've seen the entirety of the first Armor Hero series. I remember them calling it the wood armor.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Eagle Man is freaking wood.
Yes.
That's crazy, man. This is gonna bother me because, again, he's got those rings. The wood element. This is gonna. I'm gonna be lying awake at night over this. Like,
yeah, just lay there in bed like this.
Like, yeah, like what? Yeah, like why did they use Galeem as like the dark core for Rube? Why?
I don't know. Ask the producers.
Yeah. So the Mastiff is the steel one then?
Yes.
Okay.
You could say that.
Okay. See, this is why I'd rather watch 5 Element Ninja, because it's much more cut and dry. Yeah, the metal ninjas are the ones with the shiny foil umbrellas that blind their opponents, and then knives shoot out of the prongs of the umbrellas. See, that makes sense. The wood ninjas, they're disguised as trees, and then once some of the main characters get close enough, it's like, oh, we got these razor claws. I'm just gonna bear hug you with my claws.
Yeah. To be honest, I do want to watch the other Armor Hero series, but obviously I cannot speak Mandarin. And the only
read in English.
Yes. So the only series that's fully subbed is the original series. And there was a dub for, the first 2 Armor Hero series, the original and XT. I was going to watch the XT dub because there was no sub for it, but now that's gone from YouTube and I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, so, despite spending the last 15 minutes talking about Armored Hero, we're actually here to discuss Ultraman X episodes 6 through 10. And yes, the first 2 episodes we get here is a 2-parter. Oh my god, so early, and we already have a two-parter.
Wait, is Ultraman X an armor hero?
That's a good question.
I mean, he's a hero. He has different armors.
But does he speak Mandarin?
No, he speaks Japanese.
Exactly. Hey, you know what'd be funny if he was considered an armored hero, but only if there was like a Laotian dub.
Is that a King of the Hill reference?
Yes.
So, are you Japanese or Chinese?
I'm from Laos. It's a landlocked country. We got a population of 14 million.
It's a landlocked country between Thailand and Vietnam.
Yeah.
So, are you Chinese or Japanese?
Stupid redneck.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I love how you walk into the episode expecting it to be like a Hank versus Khan episode, but turns out it was a Peggy versus Min episode. Like I made your apple Betty, but better. I added nutmeg. See, don't trust Peggy. Trust Min. She makes better apple Betty. And you know what else? Bobby makes a better beef Wellington. Maybe he should be invited to Hell's Kitchen instead of Peggy. Yeah.
Oh gosh, now I can only imagine Gordon Ramsay roasting Peggy Hill.
He's like, you idiot! Beef stew! More like beef poo! Your beef Wellington is absolutely disgusting. Peggy, what are you? I'm an idiot sandwich. Exactly. And then Hank would be like, that's it. No one talks badly about my wife. But then like he tries to cook, that there guy, Mr. Ramsey, actually might have a bit of a point, Peggy. Maybe you should listen to him. Yeah. I would say this. Bobby is the GOAT because not only does the kid know how to cook, the kid's got the sauce. He's the llama, and Cell better watch out when Bobby joins the Cell games.
Yes.
That's my verse. Yeah, like he's gonna like Android 18 right out of his body with one hit. Like,
mm-hmm.
That's my purse. And then going for the deuce. 17 comes out. It's like we didn't need the Dragon Ball to bring 17 back. We just needed Bobby Hill. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's but yeah, so two-parter. I can't believe it because in most seasons of 25 episodes, you have to wait till around episode 11 or 12 to get to a two-parter. And yet, here we are, episode 7, already a two-parter. And this one's a shorter season. 22 episodes. What's up with that? Can you believe it?
Yeah, I suppose they had to put it in there eventually somewhere, so why not near the beginning?
Yeah.
In the first act, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's actually a pretty simple two-parter. We find a mysterious man lurking around the champion statue. Better be careful. Might turn into Nimrod and AC and DC. Yeah, that's right. I remember the names of all 3 of those characters. Not sure why.
From White Light.
Yep. Not sure why the other 2 are named AC and DC. It's like, is this an EM reference or is this a rock and roll reference? Or both, because that's actually how the band actually got their name. It's like they saw the words AC and DC on the sewing machine. They're like, yo, Malcolm, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Angus, I think I'm thinking the same thing. We're going to call ourselves AC/DC. And then they invite 2 Scottish dudes to join their band, and like that, the rest was history. Oh, and Bon Scott. God damn, I miss Bon Scott. He was amazing. Yeah. Yeah, and then we got an Aztec mummy named ACDC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, and it's like, oh, you've read Sun Tzu? Well, guess what? I'm the one who taught Sun Tzu everything he knows.
Yeah. So we've got this alien who is glowing gold. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, is he from Triforia? No,
Maybe.
maybe.
No, he is in fact from Planet Gold.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually what it's called.
This gold, outside of gold, baby. He's got the Midas touch, but the kaiju's too much. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but two schoolgirls that are constantly peeping on him, and one of them seems to be a little enamored with the sight of his visage.
Yes.
Yes. But then the kaiju shows up, and the kaiju has like a sort of a jackal thing going on with like massive guns for arms. Basically, like we saw Dreamadillo 2 weeks ago, now we have Gunadillo.
Pretty much.
Both of which one sounded like a Power Rangers villain, the other sounds like a Mega Man villain, which is par for course for the season.
Yes.
And then
we had Action Zero.
We got Geo making some blunders, which results in this dude shooting a beam at one of the injured girls. Yes, he has healing powers. Wait, why did he heal a girl if he's an invasive alien? And then, or is he? And then, and then he summons his giant jackal Gunadillo. Yeah, and he remembers a kaiju that we've previously seen in Rube.
Even though that season came 3 years after this one.
I know, crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're talking about Gargorgon again.
Yes, one of the interesting kaiju designs. And as I've mentioned in Rube, of those 4 episodes of Rube, that one was my favorite design. Better than King Black and King Red. Was there King White? Maybe in a different episode.
You mean Red King and Black King?
Yes. See, I think King Black and King Red sounds cooler. You know, like Dreamadillo. Or
even though Red King is green.
Yeah, and Genghis Condor, as opposed to calling him Genghis Khan Condor. But we're definitely not talking about a certain asteroidal hygiene that failed out of art school, because we're done talking about that. Yeah. So apparently he has Orion's backstory from a Megaforce.
Oh gosh, he does.
Yeah.
Except he's gold instead of silver.
Yeah, but he even has a slingshot and a shovel, so it works. Down to the shovel and slingshot.
Yeah, but then eventually they realize that he's not here for malicious intent. He's here and he's trying to stop Gargorgon.
Yeah. And of course they do have a brief skirmish in the first of these 2 episodes. And then once they have him, and so they defeat him, he's unconscious and injured, so they have him in Geo's custody. But then he breaks out of his hospital bed because he's like, oh no, I just have Gargorgon. Why can't you all believe me? Because you're an alien. But that dude's right behind you is an alien. That's true. Why do we not trust you again? Yeah.
It comes with prejudice.
Yeah, human on kaijin prejudice, which is weird because it's like you're still making an exception for Dr. Gourmand. But, Daichi being the bland Daigo Jr. archetype. He's like, I have to believe him. So the two of us rush out together in hopes of defeating Daigorgon again.
Gargorgon.
Gargorgon. See, Dai Shogun, Daigo, Daichi,
Die Ranger,
Dai Setsudan. Whenever we get to Kamen Rider on Amazon, yeah. So part 2, episode 7. Oh, geez, we're making really good headway with these episodes. But we continue where we last left off. They're rushing out to defeat Gargorgon. I will keep saying his name wrong, purposefully, unintentionally. Who knows? But
you got it right that time.
Yeah, but this is something. But now to feel like I have to address something that I found very distracting about the season so far, with the exception of this one episode. The clip show that they do at the beginning of every episode before they do the intro. What is up with that? It's like they show random clips from a bunch of random episodes.
I honestly don't get that either. It's like, what's the point?
It's like they're like all the way in episode 5 and they're flashing back to episode 3 for like no reason. Like episode 7, it's not a big issue because here they actually focus on episode 6 as they should. It's a 2-parter, but it just feels so random. It's like at least like when Power Rangers in Space did the previously on Power Rangers, they flash back to like an entire batch of episodes, and they keep updating as we go. Previously on Power Rangers, Alpha sent the data card to the Rangers, which helped them unlock the Mega Voyager. Then, with the help of Justin, they were able to rescue a bunch of friends. But after Astronema disguises herself as Ashley and they manage to get their friend back, they find a mysterious secret room inside the Astro ship. What is behind that door? Find out today on Power Rangers in Space.
Pretty much.
And they bring up episode 17 of In Space for a good chunk of episodes, actually. For a good chunk of episodes. But at least they summarize the entire arc up to the episode. Here it's just like, oh, we're on episode 5. Previously on Ultraman X, we're going to exposit everything that happened in episode 3 and absolutely nothing else. Nothing from episodes 1, 2, or 4.
No.
Will Daichi make a world of peace with other cyber kaijin? Find out on today's Ultraman X. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ultraman X.
X.
Yeah. Use your cyber cards on your reader to become Ultraman X. Go Ultraman X, go Ultraman X, go Ultraman X, go, go, go. Fly, go Ultraman X, go Ultraman X, go Ultraman X, Ultraman X. Man, like these parodies, like we need to make like a freaking soundtrack for all of these. But we can't. The problem there's a double edge to improv. While it is a cheap parlor trick that is incredibly useful as a utility, there is a downside. You can't repeat the same parlor trick twice. It's like once I do an impromptu parody song, it's gone. Like it ain't coming back. If I try to repeat it, it's gonna sound worse. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. I tried to do this thing. Yeah. Ambigrams. Yeah, the only thing about the movie Angels and Demons that was actually kind of cool. But yeah, so Daigo Jr. turns to stone in this fight. But he tries to use what little time he has left unpetrified to like scan the Gargorgon. So good for you. Good for you. I wish you could have done something to get out of that sticky situation, but hey, at least you didn't just stand there and do nothing like Krillin. You at least tried to be Piccolo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he is our main hero, so
true. But it's nice knowing that that our main hero isn't exactly flawless either, like Daigo, who only failed once. I can't believe it. Ultraman Tiga is gone. Do you think they'll rename the show after me? Shut up. Yeah, I had to like rewatch that because like I still can't believe they actually said that. Commander, what do you think? Golf is incredibly boring, and the 70s must never come back.
I don't understand why they made Iruma an idiot.
Yeah, it's bad enough that she's an irresponsible single parent. In the Japanese version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at least in the Japanese version, she was level-headed and she wasn't unintelligent.
Yeah. Yeah, I still can't get over it. And you know what? I will fight to find those missing 20-ish episodes of the English dub just because my curiosity is obscenely piqued.
You know, from what I've heard, and I'm not sure if this is true, I heard that the rest of the dub did air in India.
Oh.
But apparently nobody recorded those episodes.
Well, we'll figure it out somehow, some way.
My guess is that since 4Kids is not around anymore, thank God, I'm guessing that the dub of Tiga is deep within Tsuburaya's vault.
Yeah, but you know what? But you know what's a different problem with 4Kids no longer being around?
What?
Good luck getting that third season of WMEC Masters, which I'm still waiting for. I need that third season. We got Eric on board. We got Kian on board. We got Mike Chat kinda on board. I just gotta find Chris and Hakeem Alston to come back. And then write the show from there. Maybe bring in some new blood like William Zabka. Yeah. William Zabka. Can you imagine William Zabka on WMAC Masters? Now enter the arena. William Zabka. Key symbol Cobra. But like his fighting style is Tansudo. Yeah. Because Cobra Kai never died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. I really need that third season, but it's owned by freaking 4Kids. I need to figure out what happened with Adness Entertainment because I want an official release for Dragon Knight.
So do I. Because Dragon Knight was a gem.
It was. You had an asthmatic marine fighting a pyrokinetic mirror monster. That was the most Chad thing ever.
You know, I find it interesting how we got both Black RX and Kamen Rider Ryuki on Blu-ray before we even got the American adaptations. Now, Master Rider, I understand. But you think with Dragon Knight, since it was made for an English-speaking audience, that they would release it on DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting how that works? We get the Japanese versions
instead of 4-episode DVDs, you know, like where they would release them 4 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think they would at least do that. Like, even Power Rangers Samurai did that. I hate that Power Rangers Samurai did that because this was around the same time when Shout Factory released the first 17 seasons as, like, complete seasons.
They did eventually release complete season sets for Samurai, though.
Yeah, but it's difficult to find.
Yeah.
Megaforce, especially so. I have the complete season of Dino Charge, not Supercharge, but Dino Charge. But even then, I'm surprised I even got that. I don't even know if it has the Christmas and Halloween episodes. Not that I care for them, but because let's be honest, you know what the weird thing is? The Halloween and Christmas episodes actually went downhill despite the writing the writing of the overall seasons improving. Like it's like the one thing as bad as Samurai and Megaforce were.
Oh, they were god awful.
As bad as they were, even the cast, of whom we have nothing against,
of course,
also hated their own seasons. It's like they wear their seasons with pride because, like, you know, they support the fan base and they appreciate love and support, and I respect that. But let's be honest, if given the chance to change things with their own hands, they openly admitted that they would have changed a lot of things.
Oh yes, I've heard the Megaforce cast talk about things that they would change about their own season.
Oh yeah. The Samurai cast did not like their own season, but the Megaforce cast hated their season even more than the Samurai cast hated their own season. And but the one thing that those two teams got right, it's the placement of the holiday clip show episodes. Granted, they weren't well written, but they were placed a lot better because even the Christmas episode, they would air like before they would do the finale. So like they would fight. So they would have the Christmas episode, then defeat Decker. They would have a Christmas episode, then defeat Xandrid. They would have a Christmas episode, then defeat Vrak. They would have a Christmas episode, then defeat Mavro. But then Dino Charge, while as an overall season was better, it's like they defeated Sledge, then had a Christmas episode.
Yeah. Dino Charge actually was pretty good. It did feel like an improvement. It felt like a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But then came Ninja Steel and took a step back. Ninja Steel is one of the worst seasons I have ever seen.
Even with Ninja Steel, same problem with the holiday episodes as Dino Charge. They defeated God damn it, I'm trying to remember the name of the main villain, Galvanax. They defeat Galvanax, then have a Christmas episode. They defeat Odious, and then have a Christmas episode with Sledge as the villain. Yeah,
Ninja Steel, I'm going to be honest, it almost made me give up on new seasons of Power Rangers because of the mandates, how Neo Saban was handling it, the fart jokes. Thankfully, Beast Morphers, I actually did like.
I'll say this, Beast Morpher Season 2 was a huge improvement because they just got rid of the whole Christmas episode thing to begin with.
Yeah. And then Dino Fury comes in. Dino Fury is, again, one of my least favorite seasons.
Takes a step back and does the same mistake that Dino Charge did. They defeat Void Knight, then have a Christmas episode. Oddly enough, they did not have a Christmas episode in Season 2, which is impressive, all things considered. But then we have Cosmic Fury, which the less we say, the better. But the point being, as bad as Samurai and Megaforce were, at least they handled the holiday episodes better than the future seasons did.
I guess, but that's not saying much.
Not saying much. So it's low bar. It's like what Conan O'Brien said on Playboy. I want to do one push-up today more than I did yesterday, but yesterday I only did one push-up. I swear that sounded more inspirational in the actual interview.
Probably did.
Yeah, but here it's like, I'm like, I'm just recontextualizing it in a opposite way, kind of like YOLO. YOLO can mean live life to the fullest, but it can also mean live life as cautiously as possible to bunker down. Yeah, you know that song with Adam Levine. You can never have too much Purell. It's a cautionary tale you should never forget.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're fighting this monster, and we have the data. Turns out, yeah, that museum piece was a spaceship all along. So basically, the team tries to make a plan. So Gunadillo uses itself as a diversion so they can use their Ultraman guns in order to shoot it in the eye. Like the Gunadillo still turns to stone though.
Yeah, but they wanted to make sure that sacrifice wasn't in vain.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they shoot the eye, both X and Gunadillo both unpetrify.
Yeah, I love how they fired the three guns from three different angles and they synchronized perfectly. Kind of like that episode of Dragon Ball GT.
Yeah.
Purple pot, pepper pot, pickle pot.
Yeah, yes. And then the way the eye grows back, it kind of reminds me of a scene in Godzilla -1 when Godzilla's face grows back.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect Zilla. Z is for zero. The clock is pointing. Indestructible. My skin turns out to be. L is for losers, which the human race shall become. My name is Perfect Zilla.
Yes, Mr. Perfect Zilla.
Yeah. So apparently that penguin-esque kaiju from episode 4 becomes a cyber kaiju.
And he gets new armor, Cyber Benstar armor,
which is basically a shield
that absorbs attacks
and redirects it back at the rival. So it's quite literally Perseus versus Medusa.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. What's really interesting is how in Saint Seiya, the Perseus armor literally has a shield with the Gorgon's head adorned onto it. So quite literally, Perseus has the ability to petrify people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it took Shoryu to become permanently blind to defeat him. See, I may not have been able to watch Knights of the Zodiac in its entirety or continuously back when it was on Saturday Video System. Yes, it was an NES reference before Toonami moved to Saturdays. But Saturday evenings, with the Rave Master and the IGPX and the One Piece and the Naruto. Yeah, but the episodes I did watch were literally the first 2 episodes, the episode where Icky the Phoenix shows up for the first time, and then skip straight ahead to the 2-part episode where Shoryu fights Perseus.
Yeah.
Those are literally the only 5 episodes I've ever watched, unfortunately. I tried catching it back up on Netflix. I got up to episode 4, but then they removed it so they could promote the CGI version.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the one where Andromeda was gender swapped into a woman.
I see.
You'd think it'd be a nice JoJo reference. Have a dude be Andromeda. But no, we need to have gender conforming Knights of the Zodiac. Yeah. Let me guess. Cassiopeia was also a dude, but then they turned into a woman. I wouldn't know. Again, I only watched the 5, now 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they managed to give Gargorgon a taste of its own medicine and petrify it, and then blow it to millions of pieces.
Gunadillo turns into Swiss cheese.
Pretty much.
Yeah, tasty. and of course,
Gorgonzola.
Gargogonzola. Oh man, that's great. That should be a T-shirt too.
Yes.
Gargogonzola. Man, that is great. But yeah, Gold Boy has his last heart-to-heart with Schoolgirl, and notice how I don't even know their names because they're that forgettable as characters. It's like maybe one day Earthlings and Goldens will make peace. I'm like, yeah, you'll make peace, and then you'll end up breeding and making an army of Atom Warlocks to assist the Guardians of the Galaxy from fighting the High Evolutionary.
Yeah.
God damn, I hate the High Evolutionary. Even more so in the new film than I did in Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we're talking ancestral rage level of me hating this dude. Like, and I wouldn't feel such rage again until watching Dressrosa arc on One Piece when they would go into Trafalgar Law's backstory. But yeah, ancestral rage. And so the dude flies back to his home planet. Yep. Tale as old as time. Girl in a pink outfit meets a dude who could turn invisible, and then they never see each other again except through brief video hologram recordings. You know, get your ruby slippers ready.
Mm-hmm.
So see how I made a Power Rangers Turbo reference right there? Yeah. Okay, moving on. Episode 8. Okay, this episode was actually really fun. Very briefly, they fight an electric monster, Zetan. I think it's called Zeton. Yes, that's right. And yeah, his attacks are not penetrating it. Even like when they try to use the Ultraman guns from the ground, it's like at first it's like, and then later on it just doesn't even bother. Doesn't even make contact. Electromagnetic barrier. At least I assume it's electromagnetic. And so yeah, we need a new way of fighting this thing. And then Homeboy shows up with the Spark Doll of Zetan. It's like, wait a minute. So we've got two different Zetans, and one of them's a Spark Doll. That's very odd.
Yeah, like that's not suspicious at all.
Yeah, like what are the odds you would have? And you know, like I was wondering, what if you had a Spark Doll of a particular kaiju that you're fighting in the same episode?
Well, here you go.
Yeah. So Homeboy like presents him, and he's like, by the way, you remind me of your dad. Did I mention I know your dad? Your dad is a cool dude. Did I mention I know your dad? And
he knows his daddy.
And of course, Daichi's like, oh, did you know my dad? Yeah, of course I knew your dad. But like, boy, your dad and I used to like go out drinking and singing karaoke. Huh, that's weird because I could have sworn my dad never consumed alcohol and was tone deaf. But you knew my dad, so I immediately believe you without questioning anything you just said.
Very clever.
Yep.
Now who has my father? Uh-oh. Someone had some daddy issues. Nothing could be my father from the truth. Who? You said my father. No, I didn't. How? Did not. Shabba! For me, this is a dad issue. Dad issue! Dead dad! Dead be dad! Oh. Daddy didn't love me!
Yeah. Yeah, so of course he's gonna believe everything he says. The 4 kids writing just writes itself.
Oh gosh, no, not again.
Yes, because Gourmand is love, Gourmand is life. Doesn't ring quite as well as Hori does, but we'll make it work. Yeah. But yeah, one thing we did not mention is that Daichi's not even in like the reconnaissance team like the main protagonist typically is. He's on the research team. meaning he's not often in the front lines. He's dressed up like he's in the front lines, but he's not the front lines.
Something a little different.
Yeah. Something a little different. Yeah. Yeah. So make friends with the cute girl with glasses and the chubby guy with the heart of gold, because you're gonna be seeing them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they try to turn Zetan into
Zeton.
a cybercart, Zeton into a spark doll. Yeah. And they succeed.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Very
will it have
quickly.
after effects?
Yes. Oh, there's some errors. What could that mean? Oh, we'll just ignore it. We made a card for it, didn't we? Didn't we? Oh, so Zeton comes back and with the vengeance, and it's like, oh, let's fight Zeton with a Zeton card, but he becomes instantly, well, I'm just paralyzed by you. Yeah, no surprise there. Yeah. So what's going on here? It's like, it's like the research team must do some typing, and of course, Homeboy, who knows Daichi's dad, is going to like help with the research, because of course he's gonna help out. He's friends with Daichi's dad, isn't he?
No.
And bang bang.
And then Ultraman Max, disguised as his human host, shows up because it's not really his human host. He's just taking on the look of his host.
Yep. Because turns out Homeboy who knows his dad is not really Homeboy who knows his dad.
What a twist.
Oh, what a twist indeed. What a twist indeed. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that is a crazy ass plot twist. And yet, yeah. It turns out he's a kaiju this whole time.
Yeah, alien Saran.
Yeah. Have we seen this species in the past season before?
Yes, they showed up in Ultraman Max.
Okay.
So it's basically a alien Saran trying to get revenge on Ultraman Max.
Makes sense. I think he even mentioned something about a brother being killed or something.
His kind, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we got So it turns out it was all a lure to get Ultraman Max to turn into his Ultra form. All of this. The Zeton attack, the card, the paralysis, all not for world conquest, not for world destruction, just to get Max to transform.
Just for revenge.
And I'm like, is this one of those Power Rangers Ninja Storm type of situations where his powers could only be destroyed if like he's transformed while he's being killed?
Maybe.
Because this makes me think about that episode of Power Rangers Ninja Storm where Sergei says, Russia, why don't we just destroy the Rangers while they are still in their human forms? Sergei, don't you understand? Their powers cannot be destroyed unless they're morphed while we destroy them. Why? How? No, really, that's a good question. I know that even though all the Power Rangers get their powers from the grid, it's harnessed differently. How would Lothar of all people know that specifically the Ninja Storm powers require the Rangers to be transformed for the powers to be destroyed? How would he know this? He was exiled for 20 years.
It's Power Rangers logic.
Yeah. It's not like this is something that was established universally across every Power Rangers team. Heck, I mean, heck, we could assume that Andros' original Chaosian team of Rangers were all killed while being fully morphed because presumably line of duty. So why are Ashley and the others able to turn into Chaosian Rangers?
I'm guessing that those morphers aren't DNA locked.
And also, let's not forget. Well, I mean, the Ninja Storm powers aren't DNA locked either.
True.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you even have Sensei switch bodies with both Shane and Dustin in one episode. You think the Morphers would like detect something like that if they were DNA locked? Yeah, Power Rangers logic. And let's not for I mean, Estrella could not turn into the Yellow Ranger because she did not know the morph call. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But Kendricks, she was fully morphed when she died, but Corone could still turn into the Pink Ranger.
Power Rangers logic.
But at least in Ninja Storm, they at least do a good job explaining why they can only send one monster at a time. Their PAM is not subscribed to the premium subscription because Lothar is cheap. That is canon.
Mm-hmm.
He's too cheap to get the premium version, which means that it can only... So the trial version only lets him do one monster at a time. Yeah, so the trap. Yeah, so let's get Zeton and Ultraman X in his Zeton armor and this dude from Ultraman Max.
Tran.
3v1 this dude. But Daichi tries to use the electrical powers of his cyber King in order to like purify it or something.
I don't Ultraman logic.
But somehow it works. So he creates a barrier to protect Max, and then two of them work together to defeat the two monsters together like a team. And
yeah, it was cool to see Max again.
Yeah, he's got
considering
cool
his series came out in 2005, so this was like a 10-year anniversary thing, and we hadn't seen his actor since his show ended.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, Max showed up in the Ultra Galaxy Legends movie, but not his actual actor.
Yeah, here we got the actual actor, not the character, but the actor. Because apparently Max can turn into his Ultra host.
Yeah.
Because it will be easier for you humans to comprehend my true existence.
Pretty much.
That's kind of weird, but I'll take it. Yeah. So, next episode. We play rugby.
Yeah, it's basically, in a nutshell, aliens playing rugby.
Yeah, there's really not much to say about this episode. Oh, something about an alien whale that they need to protect. So one of the members of Geo, like he's a disgraced rugby player that got kicked out of his team. So he gets adopted by a trio of rugby playing kaijin, one of which looks like a Showa era Ultra. Let's be honest.
To be honest, all of these aliens that show up in this episode, they're all from the Showa era.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of noticeable, but that gold one in particular looks like a repurposed Ultraman suit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the three of them are being all cutesy, like, ooh, like, you must not give up. And I swear, you know who these three people remind me of?
What?
They remind me of the cast of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
I see.
Yeah. Even the one dude looks like Hugo Weaving in drag. Yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, I'm gonna spice up your life. Because Maximilian Pegasus is not only a fan of Spice World, but he's also a fan of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Yeah. The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Yeah, it's got Hugo Weaving, Guy Pearce, Terrence Stamp, and the three of them go on a venture together in a drag show.
Yeah, so basically the plot is one of Gio's members' brother, or basically wants to quit his rugby team. He makes home with these 3 aliens.
Mm-hmm.
More aliens from the Showa era come down to try to take the shark whale thing, but they're like, we're going to sell this in a match of rugby. They kind of cheat. They basically cheat because they're the bad guys. Of course, they're going to do that.
Yeah, they're using super speed, like the bad guys from the movie Shaolin Soccer.
Yeah, though I will admit, the part to when Isamu just runs through the 3 aliens and they knock around like bowling pins was pretty funny.
Yeah, and like they're in full costume. I like that. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and that's so being that they win by exactly 1 point. So they're like, no, we're going to take that shark whale by force. Grow giant. X grows giant, defeats them. End of episode.
Yep. It's really cool. It's really cool seeing Kaijin and Kaiju playing sports, because usually you would only see this in a TTFC special.
Yeah.
Remember in Kamen Rider Decade when they would have 6 Kamen Riders do track and field?
Yes.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
And Black is the only one walking because of his ending theme.
Yeah. long ago, 20th century. Now, I have a question. The 3 commentators in this episode, are they like cameos like in Boom Boomer?
That's a good question. I didn't really pay attention to them too much, so I might have to go back and look.
Yeah. But
or read the wiki about it.
Yeah, but one thing I do appreciate is how you got the research team as cheerleaders, like where Asui, like, she's like dressed up as a traditional American cheerleader, while the other dude is dressed up in an Oidan uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Because the elite beat agents are on the scene. But what's really weird is that one of the bad guy Kaijin is like wearing a full suit and tie to a rugby game.
Oh yeah, Alien Zeton.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And you also have the monkey dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll never forget the monkey dude. He was in the Halloween episode of Rube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and let's not forget that one kaiju with a coiffed hair.
Oh yeah, Babalu.
Yeah. Look at me. I'm sexy, and I'm sexy. If you choose to defend, I will condescend, because my dark magic attack will leave you straight at the bend. Yeah, so giant kaiju fight, because they're giant, and yeah, they basically pull off a JoJo reference, because that one chapter of Phantom Blood where Jonathan and Dio are on a rugby team, it's like you got like 4 muscular dudes like trying to pin down Jonathan, and he's still going like 4 guys can't stop him. He's still dragging across the field. And of course he passes it to Dio, allowing Dio to win the game. But it's their teamwork that won them the game. But still, 4 dudes could not take down Jonathan. Just like how 4 kaiju, well, in this case, 3 kaiju, cannot take down Ultraman X.
No.
Yeah. So, the 3 kaiju, they took a step back so that, their human friends, former teammates could celebrate his win. But he knows who his true family is. Family. I have to say, this may be a filler episode, but it's a fun filler. I love how, like, sometimes you do need a goofy episode to take a break from, but at least it doesn't distract from the main plot like a certain other season we did recently.
Arc?
Yes. Like, again, I appreciate the what's it called? The creepypasta aesthetic. But
yeah,
would have worked better if you did that across the entire season, or at least the second half, not just the last 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I like some of the concepts, just poorly executed. Now here we have an environmentalist episode because we got a little girl massaging a tendril, which looks very suspect.
Yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, thankfully that tendril is actually a plant kaijin. And the plant kaijin is not necessarily threatening, but a bunch of humans are exploiting it for tourism.
Yeah.
So basically, go loser ranger. Yeah. So I'll let you take care of this episode.
Basically, there's a giant blue plant kaiju thing. Yeah. What was it called again? It was like a holy something.
Yeah, it's I'm not the biggest expert on kaiju names because what I appreciate about Kamen Rider villains is most of them are just animal themes and like you just like
Olinga,
crocodile orphanok, tiger undead.
Yeah, the name sorry, the name of this kaiju is Holinga.
And it's a type P, which means hopefully it will become a new armor at some point.
It won't.
Darn, because like at this point I'm expecting I'm expecting like him to have at least one cyber kaiju of every type. A metal type, an alien type, a ground type, a bird type, fish type.
Yeah. Dude. Imagine if he had Cyber Godzilla armor.
Imagine if he had Riseros armor.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Imagine if Mechagodzilla, Cyber Godzilla, a Riseros, and a Dragon Caesar teamed up.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Toei, Tsuburaya, Toho, make it happen.
Yeah. It's better than making a Sentai from like a Black King, White King, Red King, and hopefully there's gonna be a Blue King and a Yellow King.
No, there's no Blue King or Yellow King, but there is King Joe Black. But then we've already got Black King, so
yeah. But no, I'm not a fan of the kaiju exploitation because this goes against Aichi's beliefs of harmony between humans and kaiju.
Yes, it's starting to sound like Ultraman Cosmos.
Yeah. I'm glad that we didn't have to go the fire breather route of like having the king of kaiju breed with a human in order to create peace between the two.
Fireheart, Fire Breather. What was that called again?
I think it was called. I'm pretty sure it's called Fire Breather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Cartoon. It was only the one movie based on the comic. Fire. Yeah, Fire Breather, 2010 film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what was the. It was. I think it was. I think it was a Marvel property, or was it DC? Can't remember. Or no, or was it Dark Horse? It's definitely one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Image based on the Image comics. Okay. Yeah. Image comics. Is Image still? Yeah. Image is still the publisher. Yeah. Still, interesting concept for the main character. Just how could you do it? Well, it's for the greater good of humanity. No, I mean literally, how could you do it? The mechanics just don't make any sense.
I don't know, and I'm not sure if I want to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Jerry.
Yeah. No, we're just no. So yeah, so let's go. So people are even having like festivals where people are like like watching this thing, but yeah. So knowing this information, obviously Geo have to like do some research on this thing because you can't just let a kaiju just like stand there.
No.
Yeah. Why is it staying in one place the whole time? That's not very kaiju-like. I mean, it's a plant kaiju, so what do you expect it to be? Yeah. But they do notice that it's growing progressively weaker.
Yeah, they think it's not getting enough nutrition at first.
Yeah. So like at first we're thinking that like because there's not much nutrients in the soil, they're thinking it's probably uprooting from a place with not enough nutrients. But turns out what's actually happening is that it's using its own nutrients and giving it back to the soil. It's like a reverse plant, which makes it unnatural.
Yes.
Because you're supposed to eat inward, not outward.
No.
It's like imagine you regurgitate a burger and then that burger turns into a full baby calf. Like a newborn baby calf created from a burger you threw up just now. Like that's what we're basically trying to like make a human equivalent of based on this kaiju.
Yes.
Yeah. But at least Daichi's connecting to the little girl, massaging that soul tendril that it's using to communicate with the girl. Yeah. And interestingly enough, the girl's name is Hana-chan, so that's appropriate because it's a plant kaiju. Sorry. Kaiju, Kaizoku Sentai. Yeah. So it turns out it has a mythical side to it. But unfortunately, because it's dying, it's spreading spores.
Yeah. Which starts to make people sneeze and gets in the line of the vision of the Geo members.
Yeah, which makes things a lot more difficult for them because the kaijin's now being kind of belligerent slightly.
Yes. So X comes in and he just forms a barrier that he just pulls out of nowhere.
Yeah. Since when did you have this barrier? Yeah. And of course, a Kamen Rider X tries to do his Go Juju audition. Goju Werber Jaegerman Jensen. I am number one. Yeah. Or Tenno Michioiki. Sumete wo tsukasuru otoko.
Mm-hmm. If he's stronger, then I'm strongest.
Yes, he is Xer, but I'm the Xist. Like he may be greener, but I am the greenest. No, you're not. Not a single Ultraman has ever been green. Rube could have had a green one if they went with a green motif instead of a purple one.
Well, there kind of is a green Ultraman. I don't think this really counts, though. In Shin Ultraman, instead of having a color timer, all of his red parts turn green when he's low on energy.
Yeah. I wouldn't count it, but that's an interesting thing to see. I'm gonna Google search that after the podcast is over. But
Yeah.
no,
Shin Ultraman is a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, Shin Kamen Rider, Shin Gojira, Shin Evangelion, which isn't actually called Shin Evangelion. It's just called 1.1, 2.2, 3.3, 3.3 plus 1.1, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. Yeah. You know, at that point, they may as well call it Naked Gun 444 and 1/4.
I guess so.
Yeah. So after all the spores are spread, it becomes docile again and flies away.
And becomes a mountain.
Yep. Meanwhile, the parents seem to be not too perturbed about the newfound lack of tourism. But at least Hana-chan got her parents back. Ain't that cute? Yeah. Yeah. As opposed to the first 3 episodes in this batch of episodes, the latter 2 are weirdly filler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd think that they wouldn't put filler in a 22-episode show.
Yeah, or they would at least switch it up to make a 6 and 7 filler, while 9 and 10 would be the 2-parter.
Yeah, they could have.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So, thoughts on this batch of episodes?
Well, it was, like I said, it was cool to see Max again. It's not my favorite Ultraman series ever, but he definitely has a cool aesthetic. It was nice to have a 2-parter, get a new cyber armor, and we see Gargorgon again, even though this is the first time we see him. But we already talked about him when we discussed Rube. And then, we got these filler episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as far as like score goes, I'd say give 6 and 7 a 9, a 10 for the Max episode, a 7 for the rugby episode, because I'm not a big sports fan, and that's just my opinion. If other people love sports, I think that's great, just not my thing. Though it did have its moments. I'll give it that. And I'd say an 8 out of 10 for the last episode.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I did like the first 2 episodes as a 2-parter because it wasn't too bad. 8 and 9. I will give the Ultraman Max episode a 10 because it's like, not just because of the cameo, but because it was just an interesting plot. I would have loved to see it more as a 2-parter, if anything. But even as a solo episode, it was still a really good episode. He got a new cyber armor, and he used it in a way that was very unique.
Yes.
The football episode, I give it an 8. It's filler, rugby episode. But, again, we need a little bit of levity. But episode 10, I have to give it a 7 just because it just feels like it's the forgettable episode. I don't want it to be forgettable because it's like this is the first time we see a plant kaiju in this season, and the little girl did a good job with her performance. We needed that human attachment to this town, but it's just it just felt like if you skip this episode, you wouldn't miss anything, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my take on these episodes. I know that we're gonna get like a 3-parter in the next batch of episodes, which is cool. But man, I just still can't get over that there's only 22 episodes this season. And this is coming from a position of we already did 3 seasons. We already did 3 seasons that were 25 episodes apiece.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Did you like these episodes? Did you hate them? You know, would you recommend Ultraman Max to a newcomer?
I feel like this is a question aimed towards me. Hard to say. I mean, like I said, Max isn't one of my favorites. It's not terrible by any means, but there are definitely better Ultraman series out there. I mean, it's pretty good. It's got its moments, but yeah, definitely better Ultraman series. Like, I'd say it was sandwiched in between 2 great series, that being Nexus and Mabius.
Nexus and Mabius, yeah. Those were 2 great seasons. Like, honestly, like me as a Ultra noob, like, I wouldn't even know that Ultraman Max would have been between those 2 seasons because I know these 2 seasons well enough that or rather I recognize them well enough that like I would have thought that a Nexus and Mabius would have been adjacent seasons.
No, Max was sandwiched in between.
Yeah, no, I'm saying as a noob, I would have thought that.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but no, I recognize that it's sandwiched in between, just like how you got Decker sandwiched between Trigger and the Blazar.
Yeah.
I love how there is a cyber beast for every kaiju type. Very Megman Battle Network.
Yeah, well, we did also, coincidentally, last episode, we talked about how, X and Zero, like Mega Man.
X and Zero,
Different Mega Man series, but still Mega Man.
Yeah, I love how, all the characters from Battle Network are based on, the original Mega Man series. But if you've ever watched the anime, there's, this additional filler arc at the very, very end called Beast Plus, where they basically fight a virus version of Mega Man Zero.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's really cool. I don't know if they fight a virus version of X, but but I love how they nod that, yes, X and Zero are a sequel to the original Mega Man in some arbitrary way. Remember, kids, if you see a strange, handsome person loitering by a statue, maybe stay away. They might be an alien.
Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah. I love how you derailed about Armored Hero for 15 minutes.
Well, it is a unique tokusatsu, and it's not a Japanese toku either, so...
Yeah, it's Chinese.
Yeah, you've seen the first Armored Hero series, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we've both seen it.
Yeah, I still low-key wish that there was a Laotian tokusatsu series just so that someone would say are you a Kamen Rider or an Armored Hero? Kaiju Football League should be a thing, just like Kaiju Wrestling Federation on Classic G.
Actually, there kind of is.
G4.
Oh.
Yeah.
There kind of is, because there are a Super Nintendo game, well, Super Famicom, I mean. Super Famicom games in Japan, and to where it takes Godzilla, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Gundam, of all things, and they play sports games like football and baseball.
Oh yeah. I have this one right here.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're playing. I can't tell if it's volleyball or dodgeball, but it's 2v2, and your character choices are Gundam, Ultraman, and Kamen Rider.
Interesting.
Yeah. Obviously, it's in Japanese, so I wouldn't know what's going on. I recently got a copy of Custom Robo 3 for the Game Boy Advance, but much the same. I have no idea what's going on because, everything's in Japanese. And much like, and just like Kane Kosugi, I do not speak Japanese.
Oh, yeah. I can't speak Japanese.
Ore ni hogo o manabimashita. Alright, using kaiju as a tourist trap. This is kaiju abuse. Free the kaiju. We are the people for the ethical treatment of kaiju, or Pet K.
Pet K.
Hey, it's better than Pet A.
Yeah. Well, a kaiju is a tourist trap. Are you talking about G-Fest?
I mean, is this episode a reference to G-Fest? Can you imagine if it turns out that episode 10 of Ultraman X was criticism against G-Fest? It's like, those darn weebs messing with our kaiju, making them marketing tools to make money.
Yeah, that's the dealer's room in a nutshell.
But isn't Japan making money off of G-Fest through their guests and whatnot? Anyways, anything to get out of Johnny's closet. So, with all that said, guys, if you enjoy watching us discuss Armored Hero instead of Ultraman X, or even talk about Mega Man instead of Ultraman X, you can comment, follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. We do Ultraman X on Mondays and Kamen Rider X on Sundays. That's right. We begin and end the week with X. And in the middle of the week, we got Kamen Rider Gavu on Wednesdays and Bakuage Sentai Boom Boom Jur on Thursdays. And this week we're doing the penultimate episode, which means next week will be the finale, and the week after will be the premiere of the 50th anniversary season, the 49th season, number 1 Sentai. Go Juja! Yeah. So that's a thing. Wow, I'm quoting Spider Kumonos quite a lot with that line. And also check out our other content and check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do various movie reviews. And of course, if you want to follow our personal content, where can the people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com, Axel Ranger.
And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. And with all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and avoid any creepy dudes by statues, creepy dolls handed to you by people who know your dad, and avoid any creepy plants growing out of the ground. But rugby is for everyone. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.